Hello, everyone. Here is my presentation. Well, as you know, my name is Antonija, and today I'm going to talk about, perfect. How the new model of hiring in Interactive 4, how we change, restructure the company, implement a completely different hiring model, and how it affect our company. Before I start, I would like to ask audience, who is here today that is struggling to find new resources? Just raise your hand. Nice. Perfect. So I hope that is going to help you. Let's see. A little bit about me. I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about what I'm going to say. But I have 7 years in experience working in e-commerce. My position today is in the Interactive 4 is head of PMO. I went from sales manager to project manager to senior project manager, and now working with the people. So I just really went through lots of changes. So, and the best part of my job is working with the people. And my purpose and mission kind of is, as I level up, to help all the people together with me to level up. So let's set up a stage for the story. I want to picture the moment in time. It was due to COVID. We were being fully remote, like I think any company that is today here. And in the Spain, we struggle with finding a talent, no talent at affordable price, and the talent that we have that is very good requests high price. There is a big competition, so we lost some of the talents due to competition. And Spain, unlike I guess unlike UK and United States, it's a very low rate market. And because our team was very overloaded, it was very hard to achieve the middle management. So we were not having the middle management in the company. If you don't have the middle management, it's very hard to scale the company. And working in the Spanish company, one thing for sure is struggle with the English. I came there in Interactive 4 3 years ago, and for me it was very hard because I didn't know the Spanish and the Spanish people didn't know the English, and they knew English, but they were being very shy to speak, and it's like you don't know it. So it was very hard moment, very hard picture in the time. So we figure out if we don't find a proper way to hire more people, we're gonna die, and if we don't sell more, we're gonna die. So it's like any company there. So we, as many other people, come up with some strategy that maybe we thought that not gonna work, and some strategy that could work. So what we did is that in terms of the hiring, we had 4 strategies that we completely thought that 4 of them are gonna fail. First one was headhunter. No, wrong. Second one was a self-employee. It's a very slow and long process. It takes lots of energy. Friends and family, which means like I'm going to ask a friend, does he know the friend or something like that, which sometimes it can give some results. And outsourcing or hiring some agency with the resource, lack of trust. But we didn't have other choice, so what we did, we said, okay, we're going to invest, we're going to focus on all 4 of them, and we're going to see what happens. Aside of that, as I was being more in the company, and basically people needed to speak with me in English, and I was also learning the Spanish and really working hard, so people see, okay, she's putting effort, we can put effort to work in English. We changed the company policy that needs to be English. And then also we were implementing some new sales strategy. So what happened is that headhunters, 0. Self-employees, well, since we hired the human resource, it gives some results, not too much, but let's say, every few months some new people that was capable, good resource came. Friends and family, little, and what really pop up and it really changed is that we found 2 agencies that had, let's say, like a gold of a resource in Magento, being great developers. Okay. So how did it happen? I'm going to explain in the next slides. what we did is that change. So basically, one thing that I forgot to say is that, and then what happened is that from, I don't know, let's say 1 year to today, we hire about 20 different people from the outsource agencies. All of the people are from Ukraine. They have lots of different agencies, and they have very good developers, okay? Later on, we're gonna go to the specifics. Let's first see how that it changed in our company, okay? So one of the things is that from not being able to hire people, that we were being able to hire fast or to replace very fast. It's not one day to another, but let's say 2 weeks to 2 weeks, okay? That fast hiring of the people really made us that we needed to establish a special training team that is going to take people. And what happened is that people that were being overloaded with the work, now that we hire lots of new resources, they were being like a relaxed, so they naturally developed in the middle management position. And because we were hiring so much people, we needed to establish the strict onboarding process. Only good people stay. And at that time, obviously, everyone was already speaking English. What were the success points for Interactive 4 is that it allowed us to expand outside of Spain. We were being very Spanish market country, and we wanted to go out of this, obviously, because of the lower rates, so we wanted to, seek more international. Today, we have the biggest client in Germany. We're going to visit tomorrow. Company growth, I think that it happened in the COVID, so until today, we grow to 75 people, and basically we have 3 to 4 hires per month of different agencies. And our main resource company, basically they become key partners from Ukraine. Why this is important? Because it's one big project come today, I can take it. I don't need to stress out, I need to reorganize whole the company. No, we are ready to scale because we have the partners that really have good resources, good developers. So we just need to go through some process that we have established, and we're going to hire to 3, 4, 5 people if we need immediately now, if it's not enough what we have at the moment. And also, as we said, we empower the people, the Spanish people in the company to go to a little bit higher positions, to not deal with the little everyday tasks. So we created that middle management, which was success, an important part for the company to scale. Now, when you start to hire that many people in that little bit of time, what is happening is that your in-house team is starting to, what is happening here? Why we are hiring so many people from different agencies? Why does it mean that you are going to be replaced? Well, no, of course not. Fear of a replacement was a big problem in the company, but we needed to calm down the people, sit together, and tell them that we need both strategies. We need to have ability to have the resources that we can work with them, that we can get them fast, but we still need to have all the management and all the people that we have, and also hire more people in Spain. The problem is that there is no people because they're already hired, so it's very hard to find a good developer. It takes lots of efforts and lots of energy. Also, we needed to show them, look at you. You don't have too much work now. You are like a less work, so now you can really focus on the things that we want you to focus, to manage more, to delegate more. And once they saw this big picture, something beautiful happened is that they really started to cooperate very nice with a different team. You need to know that this is two very different cultures. There is a Spanish culture and Ukrainian culture. Spanish that are very warm, but very talkative, and the Ukrainians that are not that talkative, that are very cold people by the first sight. But they started to cooperate and work very well. Now, what is the catch? Okay, so it's not that, you are here to tell me that you started to work with that agency and that you have so many employees. Well, that's not a news. Well, no, it's not about that. It's about the process, it's about the things that we implemented, and it's about one special thing that we did. it's very hard to work with the agency and then just give them the project. It's usually not that very successful because you should not get too personal with them. You give them a project, you have a documentation, you give them, you tell them what they need to do, and they come to you and they give you the things done. But that's not how we can work. So now I'm going to explain you what we saw, what we did, and how this changed basically whole perception of the thing. So one thing I want to make sure that you understand that we were not outsourcing our projects. No, we were bringing people to the agency to work in Interactive 4, okay? But what we saw that on other side of the people, even if we have in the middle agency, and you should not go to personal or interact with these people there are also people. There are people like me, and there are people like me, and there are people like you. And we also realize that the more we make a difference, he is a contractor and he's an employee, it's unlikely that they're going to give their 100%. So we were trying to, okay, so how we would give them rights but not cross the limit with the agency, because we have an agency in between. And also Spanish personalities, maybe unlike different personalities, when they like someone, they really like them. They cannot, they're not a cold country. So if they like someone, they're going to go, they're going to hug. So it was very important for once we love someone to really try and make them part of a team. And Interactive 4 is a Spanish company, well, it's a people company, okay? So everyone needs that one company to call home. This is very important to say because when I came to Interactive 4, it was 3 years ago. Obviously, if you know me, if you know anything about me, I'm not from Spain, I'm from Croatia. I came to the company, I struggled. I was being outsider, working hard, but no language and everything. When all the Ukrainians come to the company, I was the bridge between the Spanish employees and the Ukrainians because I really know the struggle of going and coming to one company. So I know what the things were wrong, maybe with me, or it was hard for me, not wrong. It was a little bit hard, so I tried to make them and fix them. Keeping in mind that we have the agency in between, we didn't forget that, but still making something special about it. You need to make, what we realized is that these people were switching in the different companies from project to project to project to project. That's not fun. So what we showed them, we say, okay, come to us, work with us, but we're going to keep you. We're not going to move you too much. We're going to give you the projects. If you're good, you're going to keep working on that project. It's not that we're going to give you one functionality. No, if you're good, we're going to really open you a door. Another thing is that we try to minimize that gap between a contractor and between the Spanish employees. We don't call them contractors. We hate that word because I think it's very pointing. We call them external titans. It's feels like a little bit like a heroes. We try to make them part of a team, and then the good ones and the ones that really show up, we make them part of a decision. Why not? I mean, these are people that has great skills, they're great developers, and some of them are extraordinary, okay? In order to connect and to have a better relationship, we established the workplace. It's like an application of Facebook where we share everyday things. We talk a lot about the rest of the, we talk a lot, not talk a lot, we send lots of pictures so so everyone can see what everyone is doing. And what we did is, because we really like them, we asked agency if we can, bring everyone together and we can have a meetup in Madrid, and that's what we did. This is in Madrid. I think it was in this last October, before the war. So we bring it together because we wanted to meet them, and we knew that if you want people to give your best, you need to, really keep them together, and you need to make them as one, as a team, as much as possible. Even though that we always know that it's not the same, but try to do that, minimize that gap as much as possible. Why we think this approach worked? Okay, because today we are hiring more than 20 employees through agencies, and we work as a team. We don't work as two different entities. Is that, we got a very good advice from a person that is not anymore in community, but it was before Max. He said, never go personal with the people that work through agencies. And this is exactly what we did. But it's not possible differently in the Spanish company. So we did something unusual. We didn't cross the line, but we did something unusual. And what happened is that they show up with more responsibility and more commitment. But that's not only why this works. There are also rest of the things that we did is that we have a very selective hiring process. While knowledge is important, this is not number one thing that we not look for, but that is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that the other side is a good person, that is a responsible person, that is an honest and a smart person. Because these four things you cannot build. You can build the knowledge. It takes time, but you can do it. But the good person, responsible person, smart person, you cannot build. So these are the four characteristics that we look for. And then obviously it's important Magento knowledge, but if it's like a junior, we can make it senior very quick. Also, we establish a good onboarding process. We have a special team only doing onboarding. So the people that they don't do code anymore, they are doing onboarding, they are training them, and they're teaching them our practices and everything. But what happens when there is a scam? There are lots of scams. I mean, the agencies are agencies. Once we ask for a project manager, they send us a QA. But the thing is that these things you can very easily see. And it's not that difficult, And when you see them, you need to address them, and you come to the agency and say, hey, please don't bring me QAs for the project managers because they are two different profiles. So what we do, interview. In the 3 minutes, I know if the person is compatible or not. It's very easy to see because they are people. So you can trick them very, very quickly. You ask them one question in the project manager. If they are struggling to reply, they are not for that. Not mentioning developer, even easier. In the 1 week of work, we can see that by the tracking, if the person is cheating the system, because we are all working remotely, it's very easy to see. But aside of that, sometimes it's going to be a scam that is going to be higher, of course. Then in that place, in that case, we would just say to agency, listen, this is not the person we hire person, but it's not good. These are the reasons, and it's going to be replaced in 2 week notice, and the new one is going to be brought to us. Sometimes if the person was very bad, the agency is going to give us for free for 1 month the new resource. If there was a good reason, but the person is not bad, then obviously we're going to pay for everything. But it's very they're very structural in they work in a nice way. Now, how do you sustain this approach? I mean, you can work like this when it works good, and then when it starts to go bad, or when things get complicated. Obviously, now that we are hiring lots for a different country in a different way, we start to think about that, and we try to make sure that we keep the same rhythm, the same good rhythm. We created a growth program for them. So we have a clear career path for them as well, how they can, go from the junior person, senior, even technical leader, maybe even something different, depends. We are still, it's maybe less than 1 year working like this, so, we still need to see how this is going to go. And obviously, when you have an agency, if the agency smells that these guys need resources and that they are doing the good job, they're going to start to increasing the prices or something like that. But you need to, you go there and you negotiate with them, and you make a better contract, and you make a better plan together with them, because the more you hire the people, it's better for them. So, it's both for the good parties that this relationship continues. And then obviously I don't want to talk about war, because we know that war is very real, and that also war happened there, and it happens during us having 20 employees, developers. So, but I just want to say how this affected us, maybe, because having 75 employees and more than 20 now from the Ukraine, obviously it gets some effects. It affected us, obviously, in this first 1 month. It was very unclear what is going to happen, but we stayed very calm, because you know what? The war was not in Spain. It was in Ukraine. So we were being fully empathic with all the people going through the war. The good thing is that most of the people were in a very safe area that was very near the Hungarian border, but we did have something like 5 employees that were fighting for the life. And when I said fighting for the life, I mean literally. But they managed. Aside of that, we give them a moral support, like everyone. We were doing lots of donations. Individually, we help couple, respecting the agencies if we could, because for us it was much easier to get a special medicine or something than for the agency in Ukraine. And we were trying to keep sure that their mental health is okay as much as we can, because we are not in the same situation, but we were trying to do that. And in the first month of war, we didn't work in any hour. We just paid them all hours, how they work. And they couldn't work all the hours. They were being like 2 weeks, people like figuring what they're going to do, how they're going to move. But we decided that this is the best thing to do. That other thing you cannot do. You just need to pay all, because they were being in a much worse situation than where I am today. So we managed pretty well, I would say. And then what future holds with this approach? Well, logically, you need to seek stability and security in the contracts. We are doing that. But what we are working is making a path to hire them directly. We managed to do that with a couple of them through the agencies, but what we want to do, some proper plan is if the person is 1 year, 2 years, and it's very happy, and they are very, very happy working with us because we are very relaxed, we are very nice people. We should have a possibility to hire them with some commissions, without commissions, with the obligation to hire more people. I mean, you can negotiate this, it can be it can be good for both sides. But we are working in that direction. We already accomplished that to hire a couple of them, but we want to have a very clear path so that the people that are there, that they know that if they perform good and if they like the company, they can be full employees. It's going to be better for them at the end, because they're not going to be agency and the fee in between. Aside of that, we have some objectives to accomplish, so we're going to continue with that, and we're going to keep pushing and changing the company. I don't know how many people of you know about Interactive 4, but we went to the merging that happened in the April of this year, okay? And I know that the merging would not happen if we didn't lower the cost of operation and if we didn't change completely the company and have the access to that many beautiful employees, not only in the Ukraine, but also in Interactive 4. So the moral of the story is that this is undeniably is one of the factors where the merging happened. And the other one is that, while you working with the agency, you should not go personal. You need to be strictly according to the rules. Sometimes you just need to do what feels right. And in that moment, we felt that if we want to have a good team, we need to give more, and we need to make them more a team. And that's what we did. So that's it. Is there any questions, maybe? Yeah? Perfect. Yes.
I got 2 questions.
Very good.
In regards to the original Spanish that you struggled with English, were you able to retain the team? And if you were able to do that, how did you get them up to speed with the new policy of the English? You train them to help them out?
Yeah, it was very hard, but one of the things that I think helped, there were a couple of things. One thing that it helped, that when they were working with me, they needed to speak English, So they needed to try hard, or I needed to try hard to speak Spanish. Now I speak Spanish, but at that time I didn't. So having today, every day, that consciously, that if I'm going to talk to Antonia today about that project, I need to prepare, I need to speak in the Spanish, is really, faster their speaking. Another thing that we did, we paid them free, for them were free lessons of Spanish. So everyone could apply, and they were having two hours a week English classes. And one thing that happened that maybe was not planned, but when you meet a good developer, and that's what I saw that happened between the teams. So there was one super good Ukrainian developer. There were many, but that one, he was like being so good that one developer that was struggling with the English liked him so much that he was also like to speak to him was trying to in her free time learn English so that he can speak better with them. It was probably due to respect, you know. So we tried to force them, but you cannot do forcing. So we give them the free classes. Me being there make them nervous, so they needed to speak English a lot. And now they're speaking everyone like without too much trouble. But it's also, you know, when the Ukrainian team came, there is no other. I mean, you can speak Ukrainian, Spanish, or English. So they needed to speak English. So it was just like all happened naturally. But these are the things that that we did. What's your second question?
Well, the first question was if you were able to actually, you know, retain them because of this new policy.
Yes. I mean, as in any company, yes, we manage. There were no people leaving the company because of that. There were people leaving company because of some other reasons, but because of that, no. But they did struggle in the first to understand, because the first thing that you're going to ask. They're gonna hire all the Ukrainians, and we're gonna lose our jobs, which was never the point. Point is to have accessibility to resources. Are you from Spain? Italy. So well, similar. But there is very hard to find good people working, you know. And then they are setting, depending on the better person. Of course, they're gonna set up a very high rate. So it's very hard to find. Yes.
I do not understand the whole thing with the merging.
Okay.
So
okay,
it's interesting. What part of the whole job thing is the merging part?
Okay, so the merging. Well, the thing is that you know, I think that how many owners of the company are here? Just two. 1, 2. Oh, perfect. Okay, a couple of them. So I think that not in every goal of a CEO of the company, but most of them is that, you know, you want someone to come and buy your company. I mean, that's your ultimate goal, and especially if you can, that company still can retain and grow and everything. That's better, because it's not going to be like a shutdown or something. So. My boss, Ignacio, obviously he wanted to sell the company, was his goal, whole life, you know, to get that opportunity. And he was having lots of, inquiries, but they were always, when they were coming and we were like going inside of details, you know, they were quitting. And then I think that in the COVID, when the first days when the COVID happened, because it was so uncertain, that kind of a brain started to work of him, and he just started to change everything completely in the company. So obviously some people in the position that were blockers, we needed to change them. But what we saw that we need to lower the cost of operation, you know, and we lowered by working with the people from Ukraine. They were much more cost effective, you know. We are paying very fair price. It's not that the price is low. Don't get me wrong. The price is pretty much high, but you don't have the bureaucracy things. You don't have to pay some social security and all these things that are overhead. And with that, I would say that we significantly lowered the cost of operation. We are able to scale, and it was one of the arguments, and that really helped. It was not a deal breaker, but I think really helped because, to sell the company. Which sell, maybe it's a wrong word, it's merge, because we are Interactive Force still. We are just part of we are marketing global group, and we are still going to persist and working with the Magento and doing what we are doing, okay? So which is then beautiful, because it's not that it's going to be shut down, change the name or something. We are keeping the same identity. It's just that, you know, they saw our success and they wanted to incorporate in the services that they are offering, because they don't have, that company don't have e-commerce component, and now they have it. Okay. Any more questions? No. Oh, perfect.
Well, I have lots of questions, but basically, I mean, when you do hiring other companies, you mentioned like some developers work 2 weeks with us, then we see that they are not for that role. I mean, is that good for your company, like to get someone 2 weeks and to get on board another developer 2 weeks, or 1 month?
Well, the thing is that first of all, we onboard. it's a cost of operation, but sometimes it's gonna happen, okay? If I'm interviewing everyone, it would be good, but there are some people that are a little bit lighter in interviewing, and we interview different profiles. I interview project managers. Someone else is interviewing the developers or QA and things like that. So usually we know in the interview or in the interview, or we know, and we are very strict. But we then have like a training session that is like a 2 weeks. And if they don't pass the training session, they cannot work with us. And it's a separate part. We have people that are working only on that and on other things, but they don't work, they are not like busy with the project. So we have people that do the trainings and they do just that. And they make sure that these people pass, make sure that they do the training properly, that we can select whether the person is gonna pass or not. It is an additional cost, but we need that because if you create a company with lots of people that are using the system, your productivity is going to be very, very bad. So I prefer us to being strict, being very selective, but the character is the most important thing. If the person has a weird character, we don't hire because we are all working remotely. We don't see each other, so we need to be very strict and very selective. In this sense, because otherwise, I mean, I know that probably not all of the people that we work are top level, but I can say that 80% of them are.
Yeah, another question.
Yes.
You mentioned that we don't take developers to switch between projects, which is great, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you manage when they are low in work, for example, one project or two projects that they are working, it's low in work for this developer? So you are not switching to other projects?
No, we are switching them. The thing is that what we are not doing is that before, because we were having like we were being overloaded, okay? What happened is that we were too much switching people, and too much switching people ruins the productivity, and that person cannot focus, and it's much better for a person to be like, to know which tasks are gonna do, and the more is in the 1 or 2 projects, the better. If it's working in the too many projects, too many knowledge needs to know when you know the process. So we are switching them but when the project has an end, So it's more like a natural. You come to the project has an end. Okay, now if that project has something else, we're gonna obviously keep that person. If not, we're gonna introduce to another projects. But we are not switching in the mid of the projects, in the mid of the task. Not like a micro switching, it's more like a macro switching when the project is done.
Also, last question. Sorry.
No. Okay, so I'm gonna, yeah. No, I'm gonna, we can talk, yeah. Thank you so much. I hope you like it.